Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our Authenticity and Inclusivity series, where we're doing that 10 weeks based on personality traits and saboteur. And today is kind of last minute. We decided we have this add-on. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our. Apologize, I have to mute the other one on LinkedIn. If not, it's echoing. All right, so thank you for joining us wherever you are from the world, whether you're watching us live or in recording. My usual words, if you're joining us live and we can't see you, appreciate that you could say hi in the chat, a thumbs up or anything like that, so we know you're there. Any question you have for us or for Lucy, we'll come back to you shortly. And welcome, I'm Aries, I'm your host for today, and with my guests, Lucy, EQ and leadership coach. And today we're going to do a special edition on this judge, the main or the biggest saboteur of all. And Lucy, how do you like to get started?
Ooh, the judge. Hello, everybody, first of all. And judge is what we call the master saboteur. Judge is probably messing with all of us. It's part of, unfortunately, human nature in a way, or human condition, so to speak. And it comes just like we usually look at, okay, what is the quality, the strength that it's underneath the saboteur, that the saboteur uses and misuses and abuses. So what would you say is the strength of that judge uses and abuses?
Okay. When we're talking about the judge, we normally talk about the three components. One of the bigger components, I'm sure everybody recognizes, is our inner critics. Do we say our inner critics to be good or bad? So I would say good is because it kind of gives us, I'm not sure that's the right word, but it kind of gives us a skill to tell us whether we are doing something good. It kind of gives us kind of a sense of where we are with people, with our situation, whatever. So I thought that it's kind of good. Imagine if you don't have a skill, you don't know, right? Like, you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're doing. So the skill kind of help you. But if your skill is always what's the word, lopsided or very critical with the skill, then it might not be so accurate after all.
Yeah, so it sounds like the strength that the judge is using and abusing is kind of the discernment, analyzing, comparing data. That is beautiful about human beings, that we are able to do that and think analytically and strategically, and when we compare data, then we can make some conclusions. However, the judge takes it to the another level. And how do we know that? What's the difference between when we are just discerning from our higher self versus when we are judging and judging others, judging ourselves, judging the world, the weather?
That's a good one. How do we know whether we are discerning versus we are judging? Oh yeah, I remember now. When we are judging is about finding faults with ourselves, with others, with circumstances. I guess in the process of that finding fault, there's a lot of emotion of shame, guilt, anxiousness, maybe disappointment. Yeah.
Could be upset. Yeah, any form of upset, unpleasant feeling. So whenever we see the circumstances, the situation, the traits in ourselves, others that we don't like, and we have this negative emotion around it, just like you said, finding faults. So what's wrong with this? Looking at it, what's wrong with this? Versus, okay, this is the situation, which is more of a neutral state. It doesn't have to be good or bad. Okay, what's the data here? What can I, so what could be the gifts in here in the situation? Instead of looking, oh my God, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with others? What's the wrong thing with the world? And that comes with the emotions that are negative. And there's a lot of judging left and right in our current world. So the judge definitely is having fun. A lot of judges in our world are having fun.
Yeah, and as your judgment and judging is a very natural, instinctive kind of human behavior. I remember I attended one webinar that somebody saying this, that as a human being, we all have the bias, and we will judge. If we don't judge and we have no bias, meaning that you are either not living or you don't have a brain to think. I was like, oh God. The reason when I say instinctively and natural is because there's just so many things going on in our world, and that judgment is not meant to be bad. It's meant to be good, to kind of bring us quicker and faster to something. But the thing is, we also come with the judgment and kind of spiral down the negativity. It's about like finding faults. Maybe I should ask, is it good to find fault, or is it good to find fault? So what do you say to that?
That's a great question. Is it good to find fault? I guess it depends. So when it might be good is when we find, wow, okay, this doesn't work. I want to improve this. What are the steps to improve this? So finding something is wrong, let's say, or something doesn't work, gives us the opportunity to do something about it. So when we don't miss, let's say there's something wrong with my car, which actually there is something wrong right now. I had a check engine light on. So if I didn't have the check engine light on, I wouldn't know there's something wrong. So I could completely destroy my engine, which would be kind of not so good for me. So looking at what's wrong when it comes, let's say, to car is a great thing, because at least I know I need to take care of something. And when the judge takes it too far and I keep looking, what's wrong with this car? Look at the scratch and the scratch over there. And it makes me so upset and unhappy anytime I get into my car. Then it makes my experience completely horrible. So I would say it depends on what is our experience and how we interpret what we see. Do we interpret it in a way that's helpful for us, or do we interpret it in a way that actually drains us and makes us upset?
I like what you say. I think I want to summarize into like 2 points. One is about preempt. So like the car situation, if you're like, I don't care, just do whatever. And then one day the car breaks down, it's like, then you are in the highway and then or motorway, the car can't go. So you need to kind of preempt and check your car regularly. So you need to go and check out to make sure it's in good condition. The other thing that come to mind was this cycle of learning. They always started with unconscious incompetent. So it's saying that there's no way we can be competent until you're conscious, until you know that you are incompetent, then you can actually do something. So from the unconsciousness to consciousness. So this asking of question, finding fault is like from the unconscious to the conscious, where you start asking questions and saying, okay, what is wrong? What's go wrong? What can I do better? And then you become conscious of your incompetency. And then from there, you become consciously competent. And Natalie have a point, say it's good to give constructive feedback. Exactly. So it's about the feedback and how you give the feedback, what kind of intention you have. So I would say when you're finding fault, doesn't sound like giving constructive feedback, saying that you're finding what is wrong with yourself. But if you take it back a step further, it's like I meant to know what is wrong, then I can improve on the wrong. Then that, yeah.
Exactly, just like with my car. If there's no signals, no feedback from my car in a way, hey, there's something wrong, there is nothing I can do in order to help the car function and perform the best. So such with our kind of human performance or relationships, if we don't talk about what doesn't work, then we cannot really have the tools or opportunity to fix it. So
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, I don't know whether you can see the comment from Natalie saying good to give constructive feedback. And I just added, I say definitely. And I say I'd like to add on is that how can we give constructive feedback? I know this is not directly related, but I just thought it's interesting to kind of divert a little bit. If we
Yeah.
have the judge in us, so the judge, maybe I just want to explain a little bit. Judge is always coming. Judge have three components where we are talking about. Is about looking at myself as the inner critics. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Keep coming that when you do something, it's like, yeah, it's always finding fault with the self. That's one component. Another component is about comparison. How am I doing in comparison with other people? Oh, these guys are all so good. Oh, no, I'm not so good. Oh, these are people just shit. They're not using their brain. They're just too lazy. Comparison, whatever. Whether you're better or you're worse off. And another one is about judging of the situation. When we look at the situation, there was always this about this is going to be a bad situation. Why is it like that? Why can't it be better? So there's a lot of the judge. Okay, we use the word judging a bit liberal here, but really judging whether is it internal, is it a comparison, or is it the circumstances that's happening there? Yeah. And we talk a lot about when we have all this mode of judging, there's a lot of that guilt, disappointment, maybe frustration, I think lack of sleep because the judge is always waking up. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? A lot of that going on. Anything you want to add on, Lucy?
Yeah, what comes up for me is also, what is the function of the judge? So anything, even the unpleasant things that we do, even harmful things that we do, have some purpose. And just like the saboteurs, they are created because they fulfill some need, some purpose. They helped us survive in the past. So the judge also helped us survive. And it could be, well, the thought of, if I don't beat myself down, if I don't criticize myself, if I don't push myself, I'm never going to be successful. Could be one of the thoughts, like justifying why the judge exists. However, as I say, the judge can help us, survive, but it's not going to help us feel happy or have a beautiful, deep, loving, caring relationships or free collaboration or innovation. So there's a cost actually that the judge costs us, the judging ourselves, judging others. As you've mentioned, there the emotional kind of, also a mental well-being costs, the sleep that can mess us physically, emotionally, mentally, when we continuously judge, and the judge loves the company of other saboteurs. So the judge with the restless, the judge with the hypervigilant that cannot let us sleep at night, thinking about all the worst scenarios and how we should be prepared, or how these others should be prepared. So really, it's recognizing the function is survival, but it's really not helping us thrive. So how could we, as you mentioned before, the intention really matters. If we have the constructive feedback, and we come there into the conversation with the judgment, the anger, the upset, the irritation energy, the conversation is probably not going to go so well. What comes up for you, Iris?
I think two parts to it. One part is more about, I remember when we first started talking, was we see what is good and what's bad, and its good thing is about, it's kind of like a measurement. So the judge kind of give you a measurement. It's like, okay, without me pushing you, without me, judging others and all this, how can you make the improvement? Because without the measurements, how do you know how far you have gone? How do you know how good you are? So the judge kind of give you that measurement, which is a good thing. But if you're taken too far, what can you, then what is the implication? And in terms of constructive feedback, I was thinking about, actually feedback is two party to that feedback conversation, right? One is the giver, one is the receiver. So the intention is also from both sides. The person who gives the feedback is meant to help, support, leverage, and just to help them to know what gone well for them, what didn't go well for them. I think the intention for the person who is receiving feedback is about, I want to find out what didn't go well for me, what's wrong or whatever that is, but with an open-mindedness so that I can make an improvement. But I feel feedback is a big topic of mine. I feel that a lot of people have a lot of theory. I also have some tools and techniques to talk about feedback, but there's a lot of factors behind the feedback. Is like we say, our state of mind, our mindset, our relationship between these two persons, what kind of relationship we have will all affect what kind of feedback. Even your intention may be good, because the way you put it might not sound constructive to the person, even though you might mean to. So there's a lot of we are not talking about feedback today. There's a different discussion. Natalie, I'd love to talk more if you want to talk more. I wrote
could be for another series.
yeah, a couple of blogs on that as well. I thought there was a lot to talk about that. And that is also one of the common theme that we always found in coaching about feedback.
Absolutely.
Especially as a manager, how can they give feedback to their subordinates so that they can help them to move forward? Because people find it very challenging to give feedback. They know we want to give constructive feedback, but the thing is, how can I ensure the receiving party able to receive that feedback that you want to give?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Oh, I think we're quarter past the hour. We should kind of tie back to the personality traits in terms of judge. I think judge is probably the one that is really universal, unlike the other saboteur that we talked about in the last 9 weeks, is accomplished, where the judge activate that, and we can see it more strongly in some of the personality traits or less of the personality traits. But I would say a judge is a very unique component where whatever personality traits you have, it will all be there. It's only some is more very brutal and very harsh and screaming and yelling at you and beating you up, making sure you are super performant. Some may be very subtle and just make you compare with people. So maybe you have to do certain things. So it all coming out in different way.
Absolutely.
So I just thought we better get started with our D. In a DISC, D is dominant, the big driver, the person who is very forward-looking, big picture. Normally as a great leader, because they are very visionalized, they can see forward. So I'm just thinking with that, how can we link the judge to a D?
I love that. Thank you. What comes up for me, so what would a personality like that, what would they usually complain about? What would they see as wrong naturally? So if they love the big picture, they might see as wrong when, let's say, other people are very detail oriented and it frustrates them. And or let's say a manager could judge others when the manager needs to give more detailed instructions instead of just get it done, would be his ideal or her ideal instruction. But the employee says, well, I need more details. I need more data. How exactly do you want me to get it done? And so the D person could be judgmental and judging the other. Well, just you're not independent enough. You should just look at the bigger picture here. Instead of understanding kind of a judgment and having this unpleasant frustration, anger, impatience reaction inside of them. That's what's coming up.
Yeah. So I'm hearing one of the biggest word is about comparison, because they're coming from, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? What's wrong with you?
Yes.
So I think
just
a lot
get it
of
done.
Yeah. So they think, I mean, if they work with somebody who want a lot of detail, somebody who maybe are more people-centric, it's like, God, let's get our work done. Why can't you just stop talking?
Stop with the emotions already.
Yeah, it's
You're
a lot
too
of what's wrong with
emotional.
you. Yeah, a lot of what's wrong with you. I thought that would be really coming out. Yeah. The next one is I. I is like a big pleaser, right? Like the whole big picture. And I'm just thinking thinking that how would the judge come in? I think inner critics will be very strong.
I would say so too. It probably would come after themselves because they want to be liked by others, and relationships are very important. So if they see that something's happening with the relationships, or they don't get attention, love they want, what did I do wrong? I must have done something wrong. What's wrong with me that they don't accept me?
Mm.
And it could be very tough and rough inner critic. Yeah. Ouch.
Ouch. Yeah. Even it's quite it's like the I is an extrovert, right? Being with people and everything. You see that part so glamorous, but in there was this inner critic spitting them out full of lots of injury. I think if you can open the inside out, you must see, oh my God, what's wrong with all? Okay. Yeah. And S is also a very people-centric.
Yeah. So there could be, I would say there could be both. Could be the inner critic. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me that I cannot support the other people the way, you know, that would support them? What's wrong with me that I get so tired by supporting? I should be like the superhero here, helping everybody never get tired. Or what's wrong with the other people that they are not helping? Could be the judgment, because the big value is supporting each other, being kind to each other. So whenever they see that, you know, the value is not being met, oh wow, you know, you are a very mean person, you're not helping anybody, you're selfish. Could be the judge coming out in that way. That's what comes up for me.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
about for you?
I think, like I say, judge is all about finding fault. It's about finding fault with yourself. Or through the finding fault with yourself, there is a comparison. I'm better or I'm worse off. I think with an S, my thought is I'm just thinking there's probably another aspect with whichever one you is. It's like, you know, some people have the tendency, just like, you know, we have a glass of water. Do you look at it as half full or half empty? They're both correct, right? But I feel that some people have the tendency towards looking things in a more optimistic way. Some people have it to look at the pessimistic way. So if I say S, I used to think that, oh, S introvert must be pessimistic, but it's actually not true. Some people it's just in them, right? But it's just that S is more about being supportive, and they care a lot about other people. So in the component of that, how would this judge come in? I think we're still a lot about that inner critic start again, but in a sense of comparison to other people, whichever side they go to, I'm better or I'm worse off than you. I think it depends very much of their own background, with their upbringing and their personal preference towards optimistic or pessimistic. If they're more pessimistic, they always think, oh, I'm less than other people, everybody's better than me. But if they're more optimistic, they're thinking that, well, I'm good. And, you know, they look at it in that way. I think whether you are S or not, it can be either way. That's what I've seen. Yeah.
You know, I wonder if what came up for me is it's a great distinction between the, you know, optimism, pessimism, looking at, is it the glass half full or empty? And therefore looking at, you know, am I better than or worse than others? And what comes up for me also, like the feeling of, because the S is so focused on other people's needs. So the judge could say, you know, your needs are not important. You are not important. You don't matter as much as the other people matter. So the judge could really come and get in a way of actually well-being and good relationships in that way. Because if they are believing the judge that their needs don't matter, and therefore they should take care of other people's needs all the time, then it's gonna lead to burnout, resentment, and ultimately, you know, exhaustion, physical symptoms, and also emotional, mental health, and in decreased performance, as well as relationships. Yeah, so the judge can really be messing up with them.
Actually, what came up for me was the word self-compassion. I find that
Yeah,
a
it's a
lot of
great
people,
antidote.
yeah, I find a lot of people, they exercise a lot of empathy for other people, but they don't exercise the empathy towards themselves, which we call self-compassion. So which is why that means that they have a very, very, very strong inner critics. They're like, if somebody do something wrong, I was like, yeah, I can understand, people are not perfect, and they can forgive the person. They can even comfort the person. But when they do something wrong, they're like, this is not forgivable. I just cannot accept this. This is not acceptable. And that, so what come up for me was the inner critics, the judging of others, or even circumstances have a lot to do with the accomplished saboteurs. Tend to activate them. And again,
Absolutely.
depends on that personality you have and kind of inclined toward each one that comes in. And of course, depending on the circumstances, I think that's what came up for me. Yeah, because I can see different things happening for different people and on different time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Should we go to the last one?
See.
So C. Detail oriented, task oriented, cares about precision, high standards, routines. So when things are not precise, the judge might be having fun with them.
When things are not precise. So whose fault is that? Is it my fault? Is it your fault?
Somebody's guilty. We need to fix this mistake.
Yeah. So C is someone who can't kind of function or work when they don't have the detail. They're like, their mind just go blank. So I'm just trying to think about when your mind go blank, what would the judge be doing? And the judge can be anything, right? We say, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh,
exactly.
I just
like,
need to get
I'm
this.
such an
What's wrong with
idiot.
you?
I
Why
should
can't
know
you do it?
better.
Yeah. Or what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this situation? It's not right. We just need to have this.
What's wrong with my boss to ask for this?
Yeah.
They should know better. That's what just came up. Is anytime we probably heard of it, shooting all over ourselves, shooting all over other people, or shooting all over the situation. It's a sign that the judge is usually doing the shooting. Like I should, I shouldn't, they should, they shouldn't.
I ever heard of this word. Somebody say, this word should never be in our dictionary, because we always talk about, oh, I should do this, I should do that, you better do this, you should do that. It's a lot of should. And we always struggle with should. If you need to do it, just do it. Why do you need to think I should? It's like, I feel there was if I don't do it, something bad is gonna happen, so I should be doing. But it's like, if I just then do it, then what's the problem? But it's actually, I don't really want to do it. That's why I say I should. So it's very interesting, the English word we are using. I just thought we should give a summarize to close off today's sessions. With the 4 personality, is about D and C, like I say, is really about your task focus. One is more towards big picture, one is detail. And the I and the S is very people-centric. Again, one is more extrovert, really with people. S like to be with people as well, but more on a one-to-one, and more of like more with my one-to-one rather than many people. I think that's the main difference. But just now we're talking is the I and S is probably more easily triggered with the inner critics, because they're very people-centric. And I think with D, I think D is more about circumstances and others, because they are less focused on about on the people. And I don't see a lot of like inner critics. They could be, I think depends, because when things don't turn out well, I think the first thing that you ask, what is wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah. And because they are not so much of the emotion and person focused, they're thinking, oh, maybe what's wrong with you? You're not producing this. We should be having this. Why this is not happening? So it's circumstances. a lot of circumstances
Mm.
and comparison with others. Yeah. Anything you else want to add?
I think it was a beautiful summary. Yeah, the judge can definitely mess with all of us in different ways. And the saboteurs join the party based on our personalities and situations. Different saboteurs can come to play and mess with us. And the first step is the awareness. So I guess my question, as I like to end it, an opportunity for all of you that are watching and listening and joining us today is notice just today during the day or evening, or just look at your day if it's your evening. What were some times that you were noticing that you were judging and having unpleasant emotions around that? Were you judging mostly yourself? Were you judging mostly other people? Or were you judging the circumstances? And just being in the awareness. And if you were judging yourself, perhaps would be some self-compassionate thing you could say to yourself now.
That's a good one. Yeah. I think especially for the judge, when we exercise the self-compassion, it makes a lot of that different. Rather than from the judging and then finding fault. I think, like I said, self-compassion is the antidote for a lot of stuff. So for next week onwards, we're going to do a little bit more we're talking a lot about all this judging and hijacking us. So we're going to move away from all this into the different part of our brain, where how can we actually activate that sage, the power within us, when we are hijacked by all this judge, the inner critics that we all have, the comparison, whether you better, you're worse off, the judging an environment, your need to please, you're avoiding, whatever that is. We're going to talk more about that in the next 6 weeks. So same time, if you can join us. And is it clear? I will answer your questions. You're talking about that you have the hyperachiever, restless, and voider, and the saboteur have come down. Brilliant. You feel you need a structure because the avoider is kicking in more. Even having a structure does not come natural to me. So you added more flexibility in, yet I'm still avoiding technical tasks in my business. Any suggestion? I have a client, I don't think he's restless, but he definitely have a high avoider. So when we work through is he has a lot of procrastination. And one of the things I challenged him with, what he did was he have a structure, he have a whole task list, but he never get to his task. I said, how about you just do 3 things? And then he looked at me, I was like, And then we started with the 3 things. And then he found that, oh my God, what he realized was just working on the 3 things work. And then when he finished the 3 things, he actually had more time for the rest of the thing. Because by putting more things in there, he's not getting in. He's not even doing it. And then after a while, your mind get used to not doing them because it's always there, right? And that you kind of
start ignoring it.
You don't see it anymore. You learn to ignore it, right? So I will reply after this a little bit more details, and we shall end here and see all of you next week, same time.
Thank you, everybody.
Look into our sage perspective.
Looking forward to it. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.